Episode 19 of the Path to a 10K Payout. No trades today. We'll go over why. And we're going to kind of cover the topic for this day, which is going to be trading within a range, kind of while we talk about what today looked like. So going into today, it was Monday. We had this big new week opening gap, which we're just disrespecting the fuck out of. I think Trump's speaking right now, so he must have said something. Within the last 20 minutes. But I kind of wanted to see how it reacted off of this gap. Came into it off market open on NASDAQ, while taking out these highs from over here on NASDAQ, staying under them on the S&P. So after that, I was looking for shorts, especially off of this 5-minute candle to the downside breaking structure. And then after that, we just didn't have any sort of entry or respect of bearish order flow. So I just called it quits. So after this 5-minute break of structure, we continued down, creating this 5-minute fair value gap on ES as well as NASDAQ. NASDAQ, we kind of tapped into it, got a reaction to the downside, but we didn't have too clean of an entry, no inverses or anything like that. So I didn't particularly care for taking this short. I didn't care for taking this short down here. And the same thing on the S&P, where we were more bearish anyways. Really no inverses. Did it get the 75% extension? Barely close below the 75% extension. Would have been a break-even trade, so it's not like it would have been a loser. But still, wasn't the cleanest. Plus, obviously, if you see on ES, we barely tapped that 5-minute gap. So I didn't think that was clean enough. So then, shortly after that, we come up inversing this 5-minute fair value gap on ES, which is the more bearish index for the day, along with NASDAQ. So then I flipped my bias to long. So that's why I didn't take this trade right here. Oops. Which would have been another break-even trade. This would have been a 1-to-1. Would have been a break-even trade after this low got taken out. Would have been break-even right there. So strong reaction to the downside, creating this 5-minute gap. And once we kind of set below this low on ES, you could have seen a SMT form with the lows from that low down to that low, and this low up to this low. But this didn't really deliver off this 1-minute gap. Like if we would have inversed off of this 1009 candle, would have been a good entry. We did come up, inverse this small gap right here. Break-even point could have been, I don't know, this might have been another break-even trade, because if we go long off of this candle, stops below this low, take profits up here, break-even would have been probably this fair value gap. Would have tapped into it, came back down, and then reversed into our favor. Then I got off kind of as soon as we inversed this 1-minute gap right here. Unfortunately, right after that, we kind of did get a clean, somewhat of a clean entry. You could have, I mean, this is like a C plus entry, because we had Still had this 1 minute gap right here, which we could have came back to the downside off of. But once we inverse this gap on this candle, I mean, your break even could have been up here. So it would have been more like this, with break even at this high to take profit up here. But I didn't really care for that. And I think it looked the same. Well, I was off, so what I mean is I probably wouldn't have traded that. And then kind of same thing on here. I mean, we kind of did inverse it with this candle, but that's a little too choppy for what I like to take. So we had SMTs going every which way today. So it's better to just stay out the markets, not trade, preserve the capital. There was opportunities going both ways, and that's kind of what makes you think, like, maybe today won't be the best of days to be trading. I mean, again, another entry could have been, I mean, hindsight 2020 on all these, obviously. This could have been an entry. Stops below this low, but again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times we failed to inverse it. This very much could have been a manipulation leg to go lower. So stayed out today. Don't, unless you are trained in taking trades within a range, this is something you just stay out of unless you're a professional. So stayed out of today. Today was day 19. Hopefully day 20 we can get a winning trade, and then day 21, which is Wednesday, we actually have CPI. So I'll be trading CPI on evals to pass at least half of them, and I might make that a video. That's a good day for day 21. So that's day 19. See you for day 20.